I'm going to discuss another popular question I get asked a lot is, which city do you think is the best to live in? So I'm only going to talk about a few because there's too many. I'm going to talk about Phuket, Pattaya, Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Hua Hin. So let's start with the big one, Bangkok. The closest thing in America to Bangkok is probably New York City. There's a lot of public transportation, sky trains, subways, buses. Transportation is very easy. Rents are pretty cheap for being in such a big city. And if you did want to work in Bangkok, you can actually work in Bangkok as a foreigner. And the wages are, I don't know, some jobs they might pay pretty good, but if you're thinking about being like an English teacher or something like that, they're not going to pay very good for that. But if you're like a tech executive or something like that, then yeah, you probably make really good money. And keeping the cost of living down in Bangkok, that could be desirable for a lot of you who might be in the tech industry. Bangkok, one of the downsides is that they do have a lot of traffic, and it does rain a lot in Bangkok, and sometimes it floods. It's a lot better now than it was before, but it does flood sometime. In terms of nightlife and stuff like that, yeah, Bangkok is probably the best place in Thailand, because you have all the big high rises, you have all the hotels and sky bars and all that stuff. So it could be very desirable to live in Bangkok if you're interested in going out for enjoying the nightlife a few times a week or something like that. Let's talk about Pattaya real quick. Pattaya is a little further away from Bangkok, about a few hour drive, I think 2 or 3 hours away from Bangkok, depending on road conditions and stuff like that. Pattaya is pretty similar to Bangkok, except it's smaller and there's less high rises, but the nightlife, yeah, there's a lot of nightlife in Pattaya. Wages are kind of low in Pattaya, and transportation is a little more difficult. So there's not going to be like sky trains and subways, at least at this moment in time. In the future maybe, but right now not really. Shopping, there's only a few shopping things in Pattaya at this moment. Supposedly there's going to be more in the future, but that's something that is not finished yet. Pattaya is pretty nice because you have the beach, and you also have many islands nearby too. And if you're a big seafood person, Pattaya might be one of the good places for you to live, because they have a lot of fishing boats here in Pattaya. So the restaurants will usually get really fresh food. When we talk about Phuket, Phuket is, I would say, getting more expensive compared to before. And Phuket is good if you want to be around a lot of expats. Like if you want to be around a lot of people from different countries, then Phuket might be a good option. There is a lot of high rises in Phuket. The condos are a little more expensive than Pattaya and Bangkok, but it depends on where you are. If you're not in like a hot point, maybe the condos aren't too expensive. But from my experience, they are. People say that Phuket is kind of like the most expensive place to live in Thailand, and I noticed that with the food. The food and transportation is very expensive in Phuket. So just keep that in mind if you are interested in Phuket. It's a very beautiful area, but for me, I like Pattaya. I also like Phuket, and I like Bangkok. Those are kind of my three that I like. Chiang Mai is also nice, but Chiang Mai doesn't really have a lot of nightlife and stuff like that. Chiang Mai is more, I would recommend for if you just want to rent a big house. You could get a house for $300, $500 US a month, and you could have a pretty relaxing life in Chiang Mai. There are gorgeous mountains in Chiang Mai. One downside to Chiang Mai is they have something called the burning season every year, I think. I've never been there on the burning season, but I heard it's not a good time to be in Chiang Mai because supposedly the farmers, they have to burn their crops every year or something like that. So that's one thing that you should keep in mind in regards to Chiang Mai. And I will briefly discuss Hua Hin. So Hua Hin is a few hours from Bangkok, and it's a little kind of fishing town. And I will say Hua Hin has some of the best restaurants in all of Thailand. I am still remembering like some of the restaurants I went to. They have some really awesome food. So if you're into eating authentic Thai food daily and you enjoy seafood, then Hua Hin could also be a good option for you too.